Mike Stark from PostYourProperty.com. I'm here with John Lansner of the OC Register, who just gave a great address to the Realty Investment Association of California. John, tell us a little about what you talked about today.
Well, I think there's some good news out in the real estate world for the first time in some time, which is reassuring. 18 months ago, I don't think any of us could have seen such relatively positive news. I think the challenge, though, is that we're not all the way back. People shouldn't get caught up in the short-term euphoria and think that we are. By any stretch of the means, the market is still tough. Home prices are stabilizing, rents are not yet, and I think it's a really tough question for people in business to ask. Everything from how real is this recovery to how things that we have seen during this recovery, basically multi-generational living, people moving in with mom and dad or the kids, depending how, to people getting very cheap and demanding discounts. How soon do those go away? Because if you're trying to make a business work, you sort of need to know how much supply will I have of customers, that's multi-generational, what the price will be that they're willing to pay.
Sure.
That's the rent question, and those are questions I don't think I have in my crystal ball.
Well, so we're here in second quarter of 2010. So do you see inflation, deflation? You see rates stable? What do you see for the foreseeable year or two here?
Well, I know there's a great debate about some of the things that the government has done, pumping a lot of money into the economy, being inflationary, and some people are very afraid about that. My thesis is that I wish we'd all have some inflation, because we still have a lot of areas, rents being one, but go to your fast food place, go to your stores, supermarkets, seeing a lot of discounting. And while we all love discounting, in the long run, deflation is very painful and very destructive. So I think we all wish for a little bit of inflation. The question is what's the right amount? But at this point, I'm not afraid of inflation because we don't have it yet.
Well, so you're hopeful, it sounds like.
Well, not really. I mean, until we can have some pricing firmness in many arenas, even though as a consumer it's great to have the coupons, but then we realize our boss is also often cutting our salaries or cutting our hours. I mean, until we have some firmness that people are getting a good paycheck, and that you actually, probably the good news is when you can't find those coupons anymore for the fast food place or the sit-down restaurant or the dry cleaner, that's when I think you can feel much better. But we're still in this sort of discount couponing phase of the recovery where people are willing to spend, but they want a tough price, a good price for it, and that's tough for business.
For investors, for real estate, good time to come in?
Well, if you got a 10-year perspective, which I know a lot of times people claim they do, but they don't, I think that we'll look back 10 years from now at a lot of risk investments, whether they be stocks or real estate or other risk investments, and say, gee, it was a pretty good time to buy 2009, 2010, 2011. That doesn't mean that it's going to be straight up or not a test of your stomach lining. But I think, relatively speaking, but the problem is you got to ask yourself, can I afford this, whatever that investment is, and do I have the risk tolerance, the stomach, to ride out? I don't think it's going to be a smooth sailing for the next few years. So, and that means if you don't have that, it's probably time to wait until you are feeling better about your finances or the investment climate.
Well, any parting shots for our audience? I'm sure a lot of them enjoy your column. Anything there?
I just think, the best investor, is an informed investor, and I wouldn't say that we're the only one. So I would continue people, do your homework and ask the tough questions. So
if you want to visit John's blog online, tell them how they can find you.
Our blog is ocregister.com/Lansner. It's Lansner. And please check out our new Sunday real estate section in the print edition of the Register every Sunday.
You got it. You heard it here. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
All right.